battle fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. It's been a while, but it's kind of apt because it's just been past Canada Day, and I feel that I need to draw your attention yet again to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and changing the Charter of Rights. Question: why is it that no one at all has questioned the authority that the federal government of Canada has to change or amend our charter? Strange that, according to my understanding, the following is required for any alteration to be legal. There's a link on my site to this, but I'm just going to read you just a short piece. The Constitution of Canada contains the Canada Act 1982, which has two parts: the Constitution Act of 1982 and the British North America Act of 1867. Renamed the Constitution Act in 1867, it is the Constitution Act that contains the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Okay, so the Constitution of Canada contains the Charter. So as long as we're clear about that. Because the Charter is in and is part of the Constitution, no part of it can be changed by a federal or provincial government. The House of Commons, the Senate, and 2/3 of the provinces representing 50% of Canadians must approve any changes to the Charter or any part of the Constitution. That's what it says. Now, lawyers can say whatever they want, but those are the words. They're in the Constitution of Canada, the Canadian Constitution. So, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will. I don't recall 2/3 of the provinces representing 50% of the population of Canada voting on anything recently, or at all, let alone the Charter. Do you? Don't you think you would have remembered that? Don't you think it would have been brought to your attention somewhere along the line? Don't you think your MP would have been asking you what you thought? And your MPP? And your local councillors and everything else? Therefore, any law passed by Parliament as a whole, which includes the Senate, is by definition unconstitutional. If this act, and by that I mean action, is considered legal, then on that basis alone, what is to stop any government, both now and in the future, to change, amend, or even delete part of our charter? I will give you an example. Now you might think this is outlandish, but just consider this for a minute. Let's say the government of Canada decided, suddenly they became offended by the number of Canadians arriving and leaving at will. I'm just giving you an example. In their eyes, they could be conspiring with a foreign government, in their eyes, to do this country harm. Therefore, they, the government, have decided to limit travel to and from this country to, say, 6 trips in any 12-month period. Now, on that basis, they have, by passing the law that they have recently passed on Section 2 of the Charter, created a precedent. And that precedent says that they can alter any part of the Charter they want. That means the federal government of Canada has the legal authority to pass such a law as I just talked about at a stroke. Here's the problem. That's voiding Section 6.1 of the Charter, which says as follows: every citizen of Canada has the right to enter, remain in, and leave Canada. It's that simple. You know, if we allow this or any government to run roughshod over our Constitution, then the government is no longer subservient to the people. They don't serve us. Rather, the people are subservient to the government. Now, I don't think that's what any of us really want or voted for. That is why it is important to hold this current government in contempt of our Constitution and to call for the immediate removal of all members of all parties who voted in favour of this bill that bypassed our Constitution. It's not just this bill, it's not just this law they passed, it's the potential for doing far more harm in the future. They have created the precedent. No government, no party, No person is above our Constitution. Please, we welcome your comments. But at the end of the day, we must fight for our freedom, whatever it takes, because if we don't, it will be gone forever. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.